Our story begins in Greece at a museum. A tour guide is walking a group of visitors through an exhibit about ancient mythology. The centerpiece is a legendary staff from Homer's tales, an ancient weapon said to channel the combined power of all the gods. Then two figures in full Spartan military armor appear at the exhibit. They smash straight through the protective glass, setting off every alarm in the building. The tour guide grabs the phone and calls security. The two armored figures pull off their helmets. Beneath them are two women, Hesper and Calypso, the two eldest daughters of Atlas. They reach out and take the staff. The moment they touch it, power floods back into their bodies like a dam breaking open. They have been waiting a very long time for this. Calypso wastes no time at all. She reaches out with her chaos magic and takes control of the security guards, turning them into obedient, blank-eyed servants. The spell spreads fast. Within minutes, every member of the museum staff is under her control. Visitors panic and run for the exits. The automated security system kicks in, and heavy metal bars drop across every door, sealing the whole building. Hesper, growing tired of the chaos around her, uses her elemental powers to command the museum's marble statues to come to life. They reach out and trap the fleeing people in place, turning them into living exhibits. Hesper glances at her sister and speaks calmly. "Human champions are still human," she says, "but do not underestimate the wizard. He will have chosen his team with great care." Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, Billy Batson, in his superhero form as Shazam, is sitting in his pediatrician's office, talking through his problems like it is a therapy session. He is frustrated. Even after everything they have been through together, his family has slowly started drifting apart. Each sibling is beginning to want their own life, their own space. Nobody wants to spend all their time fighting crime as a team anymore. It stings. He feels like he is losing the people who matter most to him. After the appointment, Billy goes home and tries to unwind with video games. But when he sees his brother Freddie sneaking out without saying a word, his curiosity kicks in. He grabs Freddie's phone and hears police radio chatter about a bridge collapse. That is all he needs. He calls his siblings, and the whole family takes off for the Benjamin Franklin Bridge. What they find when they get there is a complete disaster. An overturned fire truck has caused a massive explosion on the bridge, and the entire suspended structure is groaning and swaying, on the verge of coming apart entirely. Steel cables are snapping one after another. The asphalt is cracking and splitting. Cars are sliding toward the edges, ready to plunge into the Delaware River far below. The Shazam family jumps straight in. They start pulling people out of sliding vehicles and carrying them to safety. Peter tries to weld the broken cables back together with his bare hands, but for everyone he fixes, 5 more snap. The whole bridge is coming down no matter what they do. After a frantic few minutes, they manage to get every civilian clear of the danger zone. Then the bridge collapses entirely and crashes into the river below. Billy looks at the wreckage and realizes that if they had been better organized, the whole thing might have gone differently. He decides they need a proper team meeting. He goes looking for Eugene, who has been mapping something called the Doom Room, a space inside their base that is filled with portals to different parts of the universe. While searching, Billy finds his brother getting physically thrown out of a doorway by a large monster. He grabs Eugene and hauls him back to the meeting room without missing a beat. Once everyone is gathered, Billy tries to run a serious team session. He lays out exactly where each of them is going wrong and what they need to improve. Mary barely looks up from the organic chemistry textbook she has open in front of her. Freddie makes up a quick excuse and tries to slip out. Eugene mutters something about needing a shower because the monster he encountered earlier left drool on him that is burning his skin. One by one, they all drift out of the room until Billy is sitting there alone, still talking. At school, Freddie is shuffling through the hallways when he bumps into a new student named Anne who is looking for a specific classroom. He offers to walk with her. Before they get very far, a couple of bullies appear and start making his life difficult, including bending his crutch to get a laugh. A teacher steps in before things escalate too far and the bullies back off. Freddie continues walking with Anne and immediately starts dropping hints that he is basically best friends with all the local superheroes. He even tells her that Superman once had lunch with him in the school cafeteria. He is clearly trying very hard to impress her. In the realm of the gods, Hesper and Calypso have made their way to a dungeon where the wizard Shazam is being held, chained up in a cell. They stand in front of him and show off the restored staff, making sure he sees exactly what they have accomplished. They tell him all their powers are back, elemental magic for Hesper, and chaos magic for Calypso. They watch the old wizard's expression carefully. Then, without much ceremony, they use telekinesis to drag him toward the edge of his cell and force him to fuse the two broken halves of the staff back together permanently. He resists. Their magic leaves him no real choice. As the staff clicks into one piece, the wizard lunges and tries to wrestle it from their grip. Hesper blasts him back with a wave of raw power, and he hits the ground hard. But in the chaos, as he falls, he manages to work a tiny splinter of the staff free and press it into his palm. He closes his hand around it and whispers an incantation. Somewhere far away, the message begins to travel. In Paris, Billy is having dinner with Wonder Woman. It is going well until Diana's face suddenly changes, and the wizard appears looking out through her expression. He manages to warn Billy that the Daughters of Atlas are coming, and that they intend to take over the world, including going after his family. He tries to explain how they can be stopped. Then the splinter's magic runs out and the vision disappears. Billy snaps back to reality, confused and unsettled by what just happened. The next morning, Billy wakes up, still trying to piece it all together. Later at school, Freddy is in the cafeteria when Anne shows up again and asks him to show her the exact spot where he supposedly had lunch with the superheroes. Before he can make much progress on that, Billy rushes in, grabs him, and pulls him away for an emergency meeting. Once all the siblings are gathered, Billy tells them about the warning from the wizard. He admits he tried a quick internet search about the Daughters of Atlas and did not find much useful. Peter tells the group he might know someone who can help and leads them through a hidden passage he discovered while exploring the Rock of Eternity. The passage opens into an enormous ancient library unlike anything they have ever seen. Standing in the middle of it is something even more unusual. A magical pen named Steve that apparently contains knowledge of everything in the universe. Billy asks Steve about the Daughters of Atlas. The pen immediately begins scribbling out a list of every book in the library that mentions them. Meanwhile, Freddy has brought Anne up to the school terrace. He is still working hard at impressing her and decides to take things up a level. He tells her he can actually introduce her to a superhero. Without waiting for her reaction, he steps around a corner and transforms. He comes back out in his superhero form, acting casual and playing along with the fiction that he and this hero are simply very close friends. He leaves out the part where they are literally the same person. Back in the library, the rest of the family is making real progress. They dig through old texts and piece together the history of the staff. Mary explains that it was originally created by Atlas himself, built from wood taken from the Tree of Life. It can absorb and store the power of other gods, making it essentially a magical battery capable of holding divine energy. They also learn that after the Great War between the gods and Titans, a group of human wizards managed to get hold of the staff and used it to trap various deities, transferring the collected divine power to their own chosen human champion. That is the origin of everything Billy and his family have become. While they are still working through the information, a news report comes on about the museum attack in Greece. They immediately suspect that the two attackers are Atlas's daughters. Then Peter notices something important in one of the books. Atlas had 3 daughters, not 2. Hesper and Calypso are the ones who attacked the museum, but there is also a youngest daughter named Anthea. The moment Billy hears that name, something clicks. He thinks of the girl Freddy mentioned, the new student named Anne. Before he can act on the thought, Hesper and Calypso appear on the school terrace where Freddy is still standing. Hesper swings the staff and cracks Freddy hard across the chest. His superhero form dissolves instantly, and he is standing there as his regular, powerless self. He tries to transform again. Nothing happens. The staff has completely drained his abilities. Hesper kicks the crutch out from under him and looks down at him on the ground, demanding to know where the rest of his family is. Calypso glances over the edge of the rooftop and spots Billy flying toward them in the distance. She smiles. No need to ask. Anthea, who has been pretending to be a harmless new student this whole time, suddenly shifts the shape of the surrounding buildings. The architecture warps and twists, and Billy flies straight into a brick wall face first. His siblings are not far behind him. The sisters quickly realize they are about to face the whole family at once. Calypso wants to drain all of their powers right here. Hesper and Anthea hold her back and remind her that their true mission is the seed of life. They cannot risk losing focus. Hesper grabs Freddy and rockets into the sky. She raises a massive dome over the entire city, sealing it from the outside. Billy fires a lightning bolt at the barrier. It bounces off without leaving so much as a scratch. He can only watch as Freddy disappears behind the dome. In the realm of the gods, Freddy wakes up chained in a dungeon next to the wizard Shazam. He immediately starts looking for a way out. The wizard tells him quietly that there is no hope. He has already passed all his power to Billy and has nothing left to offer. On Earth, Billy knows he needs a plan. He takes the family back to the Great Library, where Steve produces enchanted scrolls that can carry messages directly to specific recipients. When written on, the scrolls fold themselves into paper birds and fly to wherever they are meant to go. Hesper calls for Freddy and tries to get him to give up the real identities of the other 5 champions. He refuses to say a word. Calypso steps in and uses her chaos magic to hit him with waves of sharp, searing pain, trying to break him down. Freddy grits his teeth and gives nothing. Just as Calypso is about to push harder, a paper bird swoops in, delivering Billy's message. Hesper reads it and tells her sister to stand down. The note proposes a deal. All 5 champions surrender their powers in exchange for Freddy's freedom. Calypso agrees immediately. Then she orders her guards to throw Freddy and the wizard into the wells, deep, dark pits guarded by a creature called Layden that can project overwhelming fear just by looking at someone. As the creature closes in, Anthea steps forward. She has spent enough time with Freddy to know she does not want to see him destroyed. She pulls both him and the wizard out of the pit and drops them in a labyrinth, quickly explaining that the exit to the human world is at the center and giving them directions before rushing back. On Earth, Billy meets Hesper face to face and tries to negotiate Freddy's return and the removal of the dome over the city. Hesper refuses and demands her full powers back. Billy calls in the family. Calypso was expecting this and leaps from the shadows, driving her staff into Peter and draining his powers instantly. Darla pulls Calypso's attention while Eugene hits her with a burst of electricity. Hesper lands a brutal kick on Billy, and with one sweep of her hand paralyzes both Eugene and Darla. Billy shakes it off, rockets into the air, and drives himself downward into Hesper with enough force to crack the pavement around her, freeing his siblings. Underground, the fight continues. Hesper slams Billy into a support pillar and sends cracks shooting up the walls around them. Mary and Darla burst in and grab Hesper from both sides, throwing her to the floor. Billy comes in on top of her, hitting hard enough to crack the concrete. Hesper fights free, traps the sisters in tangled metal wires, and swings a heavy wooden crate into Billy, sending him sprawling. She grabs him and drives him against the wall again and again, tearing chunks of concrete loose with every impact. She uses her elemental powers to form a massive, compacted ball of metal and debris aimed directly at him. Billy reads the attack, uses his speed to get clear at the last instant, and the ball slams straight into Hesper instead. With Hesper stunned and the sisters freed, Billy drags Hesper to the nearest chemical toilet, which functions as a hidden portal back to the Rock of Eternity. They lock her in a cell and sit down to write a proposal. Freddy in exchange for Hesper. What they do not know is that Hesper still has her powers and has already melted the cell gate. She is already gone. Darla goes to bring her some jelly beans and finds the cell empty. Hesper has slipped into the labyrinth just as Freddy and the wizard are making their way toward the exit. She reaches into her pocket and pulls out an old apple, brushing the dirt away to reveal that it is actually the fruit of the Tree of Life. The moment the wizard sees it, he knows everything. That apple cannot be allowed to fall into their hands. Back in the main hall, Hesper shows her sisters the fruit. They want to use it to restore the kingdom of the gods to what it once was. But Calypso has something far worse in mind. She wants to plant the tree on Earth, which according to the wizard would be catastrophic for the planet. Billy and the others follow Hesper's trail through the Rock of Eternity. Freddy, hiding behind a statue, spots the fruit and makes a grab for it. He knocks a pedestal over as he moves, and the crash gives him away completely. Hesper raises the staff to strike, but a strange echoing sound distracts the sisters just long enough for the wizard to lunge and grab the staff. He immediately fumbles it, and it spins out of his hands straight back to Calypso, who catches it with a grin. In the confusion, Freddy swings his crutch and taps it against the staff. His powers return in a rush. He snatches the apple and runs. Calypso, furious, refuses to let Hesper have the staff back, and instead summons Layden the dragon to hunt the fleeing heroes down. The family bursts out of the Rock of Eternity and takes to the sky with the dragon right behind them. They dive into a junkyard to catch their breath and come up with something. Calypso appears and drains Fred, Eugene, and Darla's powers with a single sweep. Billy grabs the fruit of life and throws it into the air. Mary catches it and rockets away in the opposite direction. Calypso goes after her. Mary ducks and weaves, trying to shake both the dragon and Calypso at the same time. The staff connects, and Mary's powers vanish mid-flight. She starts falling. Billy makes his choice instantly. He goes after Mary, catching her and bringing her down safely, while Calypso lands in the middle of a baseball stadium and pushes the seed of life into the earth. The roots spread outward at incredible speed. Mythical creatures pour out of the ground. minotaurs, harpies, cyclopes, chimeras, spreading through the city and creating total chaos in every direction. From a nearby rooftop, Billy and the family watch it all unfold. Anthea arrives and tells them she can reason with Hesper. She goes to her sisters and argues that the tree is already corrupted and that using the fruit to rebuild their own realm is a far better plan than destroying this world. Hesper listens. She decides Calypso has gone too far and moves to stop the chaos herself. Layden, still under Calypso's control, drives through Hesper from behind and leaves her badly wounded on the ground. Calypso then turns the staff on Anthea, who tries to shift away but is too slow. The staff hits her, and she collapses into the crowd as a completely powerless, ordinary human. Billy is the only one still powered up. He tells his family to split the creatures away from the stadium and keep them busy while he handles Calypso and the dragon. His brothers and sisters race into the city, drawing the creatures away street by street. They quickly realize it is not going to be enough. Darla has an idea and asks Steve what these mythical creatures fear above all else. The pen writes the answer: unicorns. The wizard mutters that real unicorns are nothing like the gentle creatures in storybooks. Darla says she does not care. She gets Steve to explain where they live and what they eat. Dark caves and ambrosia. She tracks one down. The creature charges at her the moment it senses her presence. She holds her ground and holds out a handful of rainbow jelly beans. The unicorn stops dead, sniffs them, and then starts crunching through the entire handful. Darla has just made a new friend. Within a very short time, she is riding through the city at the head of a unicorn army, scattering mythical beasts in every direction. Near the edge of the city, Freddy and Anthea end up sheltering with a group of civilians when Calypso appears riding the dragon overhead and orders it to use its mind control power against the people below. The dragon's ability has no effect on Freddy whatsoever, which is the kind of thing that makes sense the more you think about it. Freddy grabs Anthea and pulls her clear just as the effect begins to take hold around them. Then Billy arrives and tears the staff right out of Calypso's hands. He rockets toward the Tree of Life with lightning cracking around him and the staff sparking with the power it has absorbed. Hesper, on the ground, drops the protective dome around the tree just as they agreed, giving him a clear path to the center of the stadium. He starts charging it up, directing everything into the staff. The dragon makes one more move, breathing fire and hitting him square on. Billy absorbs the blow, straightens up, and on his next pass drives his fist into the dragon's jaw hard enough to send it spinning away. He feels the staff reach full charge. He shouts the word and drives the staff into the center of the dome with everything he has left. The explosion is blinding. A massive white blast tears through the stadium, and every electrical circuit in the entire state goes dead at once. The dragon collapses. Every creature Darla had lured to the center is gone in an instant. And when the light clears, Billy's body is lying broken in the wreckage. His powers are spent. His family rushes to him. He is gone. Later, in the realm of the gods, Anthea insists that Billy deserves a proper burial. She chooses a spot beneath a tree, surrounded by the remains of their ancient world. The family gathers and mourns together. Darla looks up at the wizard and asks quietly if there is any way to bring the kingdom back. The wizard sighs and tells her the truth. Only a god can restore what was lost, and as far as he knows, there are no gods left. Then Wonder Woman steps into the scene as if she had been waiting just off to the side. She takes the staff from the wizard's hands without asking, walks to the center of the space, and drives it into the ground. The realm responds. Trees grow, grass spreads, color returns to everything. Anthea feels her powers snap back into her body, and then the magic reaches Billy. He breathes, his eyes open, he sits up, his family piles in around him, everyone holding on at once. The realm of the gods is restored, the dome over the city is gone, and Billy Batson, who gave everything he had, gets to come home.